Hi, welcome to the Gear Garage. My name is Zach. This is my little internet show about whitewater stuff. And in this episode, I want to talk about the NRS Rescue Pro Throw Bag. This is not going to be a glowing review. I'm not very impressed by this throw bag. A lot of people have it. They tell me it's a great bag. And I'm going to tell you why I don't like it. I ordered it specifically to do this episode so I can practice with it and give you my thoughts. So, sorry NRS, you guys do some cool stuff. This is not one of them, and I want to tell you why. So the first thing to me is this is a piece of safety equipment that has all kinds of potential hand entrapments, right? If you have a small hand, you can get your hand stuck in here. I can get 4 of my fingers in here. This top strap is a hand entrapment or leg entrapment. This thing on top here, let me open it up. It comes with a pre-sewn loop here. I can get pretty much my hand through here. If I try, a small person can get their hand through there. And this is a massive entrapment right here. So right away, this has 4 potential entrapment hazards on a piece of safety gear. So I'm not super impressed. And it's also, when I think about throwability, it's just a floppy bag. This is not a very inspired bag. It only needs to be this big. This top, like 20% is dead space, and probably more than that once I actually open the bag up. So it's a big floppy bag. It's going to be hard to throw as a bag, and I just think that they could have done a better job on the bag itself. The rope is great. This is Spectra rope. It floats. It's a nice color. I mean, they chose a good rope. And if you need to haul on this rope, this is a rope that can handle hauling, doing some sort of like Z-rig on a short distance away or just pulling really hard. It's a very good rope. The rope choice is great. The bag is pretty mediocre. If I was to buy this bag, the first thing I would do is untie this loop. You don't need this loop in the end. You can tie your own figure 8 later on if you want to. So I'm just going to go ahead and untie this and remove this plastic stuff. NRS likes to put this plastic stuff around the ropes and the throw bags. And over time, they get moldy, right? It's just like water gets trapped in there, it gets moldy. So I would just take that and just throw that away. So right away, that's gone. And there's not a whole lot you can do with this. You're kind of stuck with this. If it was me, I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take the plastic off again because the plastic is just, it could create mold here. So I don't really want that plastic there. It's kind of nice for durability, maybe. It definitely looks cool and feels cool. It's just not that useful. So I'm going to take this plastic off and I'm going to retie this. I'm not going to do it now. So the loop at the end is smaller. So fingers or a hand can't get stuck in there. So those are my thoughts. Great rope. Poor execution on the rest of it. And I think as a rescue bag, this is a good bag to buy because it's strong rope, right? It's going to be able to be super pullable. As a throw bag, it's going to be not very good, right? Because it's heavy. It's hard to throw this bag a distance. So I'm going to go in the field here in a second, do some practice throws with this bag next to the salamander bag, which I think is a more throwable bag. It's packed in here better. And a lighter rope. It's something I can actually get to a swimmer. So here I am in the field. This is a 5/16 inch rope. This is a warm-up. I did a couple warm-up throws with similar bags. Here's a salamander bag. I think this is 1/4 inch rope. It's a lot thinner. You'll see it's way more throwable. These were my warm-up tosses. And here's honestly my first toss with the NRS throw bag. This isn't staged. This is my best attempt with this bag. And it could be my incompetence, but because it's so heavy, I really felt like I had a yard on it, and the bag makes it hard to throw. So after some practice once, here's my best throw with that bag. So, about the same distance, not quite as far. It's harder to throw, I'll just tell you that from my experience. And then I wanted to just do a recoil. The downside of this thicker rope is the rethrow. It's just, the rope's thicker, so it's hard to get all that rope in my hands. I'm able to do it, but it's just tough. So if you had small hands, you definitely would struggle a little bit here getting that thick rope into the rethrow. But it works. All right, so just to summarize, the NRS throw bag doesn't throw as well, for me at least, as these bags that are more packable with smaller ropes. So I think throwability is worse on these. If you're just going to own one throw bag, I guess this is the one you might want to consider. It's a good haul line, but it's not a great haul line. And it's a okay throw bag, but it's not a good throw bag, right? The one issue with it as a haul line is it's only 75 feet of rope. So if you have to do some sort of rescue in the river that's more than like 30 feet away, there's not enough rope to do the rescue and run the 3-to-1 and pull on, right? The rope goes really fast in these situations. So you typically want, as your rescue line, 150-ish feet to do a rescue that's actually out in the river. So this isn't really adequate as your safety line. And as your throw line, it's pretty tough to throw. So I would choose this as your throw bag if you're just doing small volume rivers as your rescue line. But what I would prefer seeing you do is just a smaller bag that's better packed. Again, the salamander one is really good. It's very throwable. Use this to get swimmers, and also use this to get a line to a boat and then pull a separate static line over. So I'd rather see people have a static line, a real static line, plus a good throw bag. But if you don't want to have both those things, maybe this is adequate, recognizing this bag has dangers. Now, so again, to reiterate, the things I would do to make this bag safer is I would take the knot and the plastic thing off of the far end of the rope. I would retie this so it's a small loop and not like a hand-sized loop, and take the plastic off as well. So it's just, you know, it's a little loop at the end. And there's nothing you can really do about this hand entrapment, but I would make an effort to always make this cinch this down tight every time you use it. And then this thing, this a massive hand entrapment, is super easy to fix, right? You can just cut the ends off here, right? Just take this and just modify it. Cut this off. Hopefully my knife works here. This is the silly knife. This is why sometimes these really big serrated knives are tough to cut with. Let me do one at a time here. Sorry, this is poor knifemanship on my part. But cut these ends off. I should just grab some scissors, right? Cut these off and then burn them down, and then just tie little figure eights in them, right? Then you have, instead of having a loop, you just have two strings coming off. They'll get stopped. So I would get rid of that loop and make this bag safer in that way. So those are my thoughts. NRS, please, if this is people trust you to make good gear, please take some time, redesign this, do a good job. The one thing I would love to see happen is, instead of having one little hole come out of here with a rope at the end, do what modern throw bags are doing, where there's just a little loop right there. Right, this is up against the bag. It's simple. It's awesome. So I highly suggest doing something like this. But yeah, that's my review of the Rescue Throw Bag. If you are interested in purchasing one, go to NRS.com. But I also check out Salamander. They make really good throw bags. Or yeah, that's it for this episode. If you have thoughts, which I'm sure you do, questions, comments, please add them in the comments section below. And yeah, see you in the next episode. Thanks.